Alright, let's welcome you once again into another exciting edition of the Madiba official show. Please, if the first time of you seeing our content, then you are on the right channel because this is the channel that updates you with the happenings in Ghana football, whether it being that of the Ghana Premier League, the Black Stars, the Black Galaxies, also react to issues over there. Please help us grow this channel by subscribing to the channel. You can also leave your comments in the comment box. You can give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this show. Now, the Porcupine Warriors this season haven't been doing well as compared to last season. Last season, by now, Kotoko were the runaway league leaders of the Ghana Premier League. Some of us had already declared them champions of the Ghana Premier League. Immediately we ended the first round because the nearest challengers, Bicham United, weren't closer to them and they were of no match to Kotoko. Fast forward a season later and the club is currently 7 points adrift the current league leaders, Aduana Stars. The CEO yesterday in an interview with Kumasi-based radio station Oripa FM made a lot of interesting comments, and for me, one that we are going to talk about on the channel is the one that he made on the form of the club and the reason why the club isn't winning matches as they're supposed to do, and the reason why they are not as consistent as they are supposed to be. And for me, his reason is that the club have a lot of injuries in their team, and because of the injuries, that's the reason why the club hasn't been consistent enough. And you look throughout the team and you ask yourself, throughout the season, where has the injuries been? And you look at the back line, because at some point in time you're missing Yusuf Mubarak, and also to the Chan tournament they missed the services of Mohamed Sharif and Augustine Ejapon. In the middle of the park they missed Mohamed Sharif, the midfielder, but for him he has been out of action for some time now, that people have people started to forget about him. But the absence of these players, who did they have in the middle of the park? They had Richard Bodu Agadas, who is a like-for-like replacement for Justice Nkunku play. They had Enoch Morrison, they had Richmond Lamptey, they have Rocky Jamina, and also offensive midfield position they have Serge Eric Zeze. Then up front, Isaac Ejapon or Isaac Opon is the consistent player that always keeps getting injured whenever he's on form. Nicholas Mensah, because of change in name, he was suspended, or he has had his license being revoked by the Ghana Football Association because he had changed his name from Louis Mensah to Nicholas Mensah. He was the top scorer prior to that incident that happened when they last played against the Ghana Stars in the Ghana Premier League. But with those players out and Dixon Afokwa, they had Infege, and then you look at their top marksman currently, that is Stephen Dese Mokwala. They have Samuel Boateng before he went on loan. They have Solomon Sabotela. All that I'm trying to do is to paint a picture of the club with what the manager is saying, that is the CEO. And for me, I think he shouldn't try to carve away for the coach, because look, despite the fact that they have all these injuries, it happened to almost all the club. Because the Ghana Stars, Emmanuel Jemfi, one of their key men, has been suspended for about 5 matches. Then you look at Bright Ajay, their top scorer, left the club to Tanzania. At the back line, they've had injuries over there. Middle of the park, the same thing. But yes, still, the coach is working. He is not complaining. He is doing his job as he's supposed to do. Kotoko had black, but the spine of the squad was still there. Maxwell Achiman had become a better player because of the injuries to the other players. He has grown into the team, realizing the other responsibilities that have been left on the shoulders at the goalkeeping department. With the absence of Danlad Ibrahim, that's why we were able to see the emergence of Frederick Asari. The right fullback position is the only position that they didn't get a player, but who do you blame? You blame the CEO and the management members because They were the one that allowed Samuel Frimpong Ebue to go to bring in Samuel Appiah. And he came in and he couldn't do the job. When Nete was leaving, they could have signed a replacement for him because they lost Nakai Neti and Japan. But nobody came into the team. The left fullback, although John Tereku was injured, but Nicholas Osebos came into the team, and because of his versatility, he's doing the job for the club. So the coach has to stop complaining, and the manager or the CEO should also stop giving them a slack. I know maybe behind the scene, they are talking with the manager, but hey, Kotoko's squad depth for me is as deep as they could get in the Ghana Premier League. Although the quality for me, you cannot compare it with that of last season, but still they have it. The left football position, there are about 3 players now. Charles Owusu is still there. In the absence of Tedeku, they had Charles Owusu, Nicholas Osei-Bones, who is currently playing at the left back for them, and then John Tedeku, right fullback. They had Christopher Nakai Neti before he left on a free transfer to Great Olympics. They had Augustine Ejapon, and also they had Samuel Appiah tender. So they have 3 players on each and every fullback positions. The centre backs, they had Masu Ajiman, they have Mohamed Sharif, the defender, they have Yusuf Mubarak, they have Masu Ajiman, they have Andrews Apau. So they had about 5 centre backs before the coming in of Mohamed Al-Hassan. So if let's say you lost Sharif to Chan, you still had Mubarak before he got injured. You still had Masu Ajiman and Andrews Apau, and also the ever-present and the utility man, that Justice Nkunku Blake. The heart of Medford, where Blake got injured in the latter days before the return of, even after the return of Mohamed Sharif. So even with Mohamed Sharif in the team, you look at the middle of the park. I mentioned the midfielders. Even Mohamed Sharif last season, when they won the Ghana Premier League, in the absence of Nete and Samuel Frimpong, he debuted as the right fullback and he did very well. So you still have him also in the team. So the squad is a very deep one. Second transfer window, they brought in Rashid Notti, who have applauded them already for that shoe signing that they made. They brought Matthew D'Souza and also Mohamed Alas, as I mentioned earlier. So this is a squad with a very deep depth. So if you are complaining about injuries and still implementing at this stage of the season, you have to question your manager. The manager is the one supposed to do so. He was complaining and some of us giving a slack when he didn't have a preseason. But before the World Cup, he had about a month break to work with the players, and that's more like a mini preseason that he got to work with the players. And he himself said that he is now ready for the Ghana Premier League. And injuries happens everywhere. There's no football club that can say that he or that club is not battling with injuries. I've already said it. Look, it happens everywhere. Arsenal is battling their injuries. City, the same thing. Man United, the same thing. So as the season goes on, you experience these injuries. That's why you register about 25 players for the entirety of that season. You register players and knowing that anything can happen for those players who come indebted for them. So for me, the injuries that CEO is using as an excuse, for me, I don't buy it. They have to work and stop complaining. It's like rain. It rains everywhere. That you have to be able to do with what you have. I already mentioned the squad. Kotoko have a very deep squad in the Ghana Premier League that they have to start working with it. 7 points at Adriana start at this point the season for me is non-negotiable. It's not anything that we can defend them. They have to start working and stop giving excuses. Let us know your thoughts on the thoughts of Nana Yaw Amponsah, the CEO of Occupying Warriors, of the reason why the club is currently not doing well in the Ghana Premier League.